What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Boozer here, thanks for stopping by. Today's video is going to be an exciting one here. Today we found a massive use for the most recent login champion, Adelyn the Chronicler. So we got this 7-day login champion and her 5-star soul, which is the crucial part of this build recently. Basically for free, just for logging in. So her deal was that she was pretty much frowned upon for a long time because her kit just wasn't that great, and it was advertised as a Sand Devil answer, and that she was a early to mid game progression champion, which she really isn't. She's kind of has a mid kit. She's serviceable in Sand Devil if you don't have a sleep champion, but obviously spending books on her just for a sleep that an epic can do is not desirable for an earlier mid-game player. She does bring a good accuracy aura as well, which can help earlier mid-game players, but that is besides the point. In this video, we found a end-game use for this champion. Mainly because we got her 5-star soul for free, and of course many of us were talking about how the 5-star soul is massive for early game players, and this is probably the best use case for Adelyn that I've seen yet. I want to give a quick shout out to Bronco Raids. He's another fellow content creator. He made a video that kind of inspired me to try this on with Adelyn. So I have to give him credit for bringing this idea to life. So make sure you guys check him out. I'll put his video and channel in the show notes below. But let's jump right into this. What I am talking about here is the revamped Shogun's Grove. In this Shogun's Grove dungeon, the Akamore boss took some stat reductions. He also took some reductions to the way his mechanics ramp up. So it allows some different strategies to start finally popping up. So in this video, in this strategy, we're going to take Adelyn into stage 25, and she is going to solo with food the Akamore on 25. This means that everyone in their roster that has been playing for the past couple months has this champion in their pool, with the blessing ideally in their pool as well, meaning that they have the potential to deal with this dungeon solo with food. You guys gotta hold your breath here because the gear requirements are quite high. The gear requirements are quite high even after rebalance, so brace yourselves for that. But I want to quickly go over what is actually changing in the mechanics for the Akamore Phantom Shogun here. So what's going to happen is that when we weak hit against Akamore, he gains shade counters, and after he reaches a certain amount of shade counters, he basically starts negating damage and start doing insane crazy stuff. But after the rebalance, he's going to gain less shade counters less quickly, and also his thresholds for his boosted craziness also goes up. So it goes up from 10 to 20, and then his basically his shade building up reduces from 8 to 6. So this is actually pretty significant here. Also, there was a buff to how players can bring down the shade counters. So basically, if you hit the Akamore, if your champion is blessed, they will bring down the shade counter basically to a predetermined number based on their blessing count. So in the past, it was a pretty like you have 1 stack for level 1 blessing, for example. So after the revamp, they actually boosted up multi-hit champions with blessing. So if you have a multi-hitter, you can do at level 6 blessing, you can do potentially up to 10 stacks off of Akamore. This makes somebody like Coldheart incredibly good, whereas in the past, 6-star blessing can only bring it down by 6. So all these different buffs to the player's experience is going to be really good. Also, the boss has had the HP, defense, resistance, and accuracy lowered, so now your gear requirements are lower as well. So I just wanted to preface some of the upcoming balance changes to the Shogun before we jump into the run here. First, let's check out the team setup here. So team setup here, Adelyn will be performing her A2 and A1, no A3, so lock that out. Food doesn't matter, of course. Let's go over her base stats here. So her total stats are going to be pretty insane, like I mentioned, and she's going to be in regeneration gear here. I have her set up with 283 speed, 100k HP, almost 5k defense, and 325 accuracy. I'm using her in the lead for plus 60 accuracy. I believe the number to hit for the rebalance is about 400 accuracy. I didn't have too much issues landing my Brimstone at 384 accuracy. I don't have any boosts for Phantom Shogun. Of course, you could add some boosts if you like. These stats are pretty daunting, considering that Adelyn's base HP is under 20k, so it's going to be difficult to stack that up. Her base defense is also not particularly insanely high, but it's decent. But we do have 5k of that, and of course it has to be in regeneration gear just so she can get some healing. Ideally even regeneration immortal, because she's going to get smacked around, but she manages to do this with these stats. I did play around with this quite a bit in terms of speed and then the total stat distribution. I found that this tanky stat distribution with lower speed was actually more successful. Initially, I had her about 105k HP with about 3.5k defense, but way faster, like 330 speed. But the run would not go smoothly, and there'll be instances where it fails kind of randomly. We'll go over that as we check out the run. But after changing it to a little bit of a slower speed and just adding tons of defensive stats, it ends up working quite well. The base speed for the Phantom Shogun is still quite fast, 370 speed, I believe. So there's no point in trying to outspeed him, but you just want to go as fast as possible so you can recover your health. And the best thing about Adelyn in this fight is that she actually does not require any books. So she doesn't need any books on her A1. She doesn't need any books on her A2. However, if you did book her, her A2 with the boosted healing is valuable. It is valuable in this fight. So would I book her for maximum performance? Yes, just for her A2, just for the additional percentage healing. Other than that, she doesn't need books to perform this, which is actually amazing. 100% you take Brimstone here because Brimstone is going to be the bulk of your damage. And I'm going to show you guys the masteries here. Also pretty important masteries. Took Life Drinker so she gets some healing when she's under 50% HP. Take War Master so she gets some extra damage from her A1s. After that, we ended up taking support here because I did try defense tree in the beginning and it didn't work out as well. Mainly because I needed Spirit Haste. I needed this 24 speed to stack up to basically give her more speed to recover. The boost in healing is actually kind of nice as well. Extra stats here is also good. Take Sniper for the extra 5% on Brimstone as well is also very nice. Go over some of the gear here. The gear is pretty good. Some of the best gear on my account actually. Triple speed here with HP everywhere. Triple speed with accuracy. Triple speed with HP, ascended HP, triple speed with accuracy. HP with defense, triple speed with flat defense there. HP with defense, ascended, double speed, accuracy, and defense percentage. Very tanky gear. This is some of the tankiest gear, like some of the best gear on my account for sure. Fully ascended, of course. Banner, we got a quad defense, so tons of defense, tons of HP. Got some speed here, didn't even roll it up. We have a defense amulet here, the Revenge amulet. I kind of wanted to try it. It would give her a chance to place Brimstone, would give her a chance to deal War Master. Also, of course, it's not necessary. You could definitely replace this, and then just a generic ring right there. But yeah, so the gear is daunting, but you guys all have the capability to do so with this champion with the 5-star blessing. Again, no books necessary. Masteries there. Let's jump into the run and we'll start talking through it. So load up the 4 food. So it's full auto, obviously. Brimstone gets placed there, starts doing damage right away. It can be placed if it weak hits. So if she's placing it while her enfeeble is up, she can still place Brimstone. The reason why Brimstone doesn't always land is because there is an internal 4-turn cooldown on Brimstone. So it's kind of like a cycle here that what Akamori does. He basically locks your passive, enfeebles you, decrease defense, and then he'll hit you twice, and then you'll have one turn of basically nothing on you, which gives you a chance to lower his shade counter. When you hit him, he lowers it by 5. If you hit him when you're enfeebled, you basically lower it by 5, but he gains 6, so then he basically gains 1. If he hits you with the crit, then he gains 5. Overall, this build hasn't exceeded 20 stacks. It's been in the teens, but once it gets into the teens, that's, you know, obviously the Shogun getting pretty lucky with like multiple crit hits, for example. It comes back down pretty quickly. So you can see here the shade counter is pretty low. And yeah, Brimstone's landing pretty consistently here. 4 turn eternal cooldown. There's going to be a cap on how fast this run could be. But you see here, it's, yeah, super fast. Minute 40, guys. Minute 39. Adelyn, the Chronicler, solo farming one of the hardest dungeons pre-patch. Unbelievable. We can run it again just so you guys can see it. I've yet to fail with this setup, to be honest. I've yet to fail. I think, to me, that's good enough to be able to solo farm this dungeon. The best thing about Adelyn actually is that her AI is smart enough that she won't use her heal unless she's actually kind of low. So she'll always just use her A1, which is good. Gives her a chance to place the Brimstone, of course. And also what's important is that you want her to hit because you want her to reduce the shade counter whenever possible. You don't want them just to like stand around and just use moves on themselves, because that's not going to reduce the shade counter. But so far, looking super good. Again, Brimstone can be placed with the enfeeble debuff on. The key is to have the regeneration of HP exceed most of his hits. So you can see, like, even his non-weak hits, I can exceed them with the generic regeneration heal. Like, that can really only be achieved if you have enough defense to mitigate some of the hits. Because you can easily make like a giant health pool champion, like, well, not easily, but I mean, you can make a big health pool champion, but if the defense is low, you're taking tons of defense, tons of damage, and then it's going to be way harder for you to out heal that damage. So I think having the right mix of defense and HP goes a long way here, because in the beginning, I first started out building just high HP and then just seeing how it goes. And then I was kind of getting shredded up, so I started adding more and more defense, and it started getting a lot smoother. I also went super fast speeds, like I said, all the way up to 335 speed, but I was still experiencing fails. So this build works really, really well. So even that massive slam there from him, I can still survive it. If my A2 is booked, then I would have a quicker turnaround on it, which would make it a bit safer, and of course the heal will be bigger, 20% bigger. So that would be good, but alas, you don't really need to book her for her to do this role. So this one's a little bit slower, probably just the Brimstone placements, trying to keep the stacks down. Probably a little bit of a lucky run for the Shogun, being such high stacks. So this one's 2 minutes and 40 seconds. We can do it again. So seemingly a little bit inconsistent, but there will be some RNG here, obviously, from the crit hit damage. Yeah, how often he crits us, his shade counter, and so forth. The other thing that we can talk about is the alternatives for this build. So obviously the main requirement is having a 5 or 6 star Brimstone. That's the main requirement, because that's the only way you're going to be dealing damage. I think if you have like a 4 or 3-star brimstone, it might work, but you might not be able to bring the shade counter down fast enough. So I would definitely recommend at least a higher star blessing to go try to do this. And then after that, you need somebody that is actually force affinity, which would probably give you the best chance at completing this, because it, basically the Shogun can weak hit into you, which takes a lot of pressure off of you, especially when the shade counters are stacking up. So ideally it's going to be force affinity for 25, which gives you the positive affinity advantage. After that, you probably need a healing set. Almost certainly you need regeneration set, and you need champions that hit. They can't just be placing things on themselves. And if you can avoid it, you want to avoid those abilities actually. So you just want abilities that hit, ideally. So Adelyn works really well here because her A2 heal, she only uses when she's kind of low. So she doesn't spam it randomly, which is really good. Otherwise, she just spams her A1. So far looking okay. Again, not particularly fast. Must have been the brimstone placements. Looks like we're starting to land here. Brimstone is only 65% at 5-star. That's with sniper mastery. So it's not a guarantee that we'll always land it when we need to. Alright, and actually if you land it at the wrong time and he doesn't do the secondary attack, he won't take the damage from the brimstone, because brimstone's not guaranteed damage, right? Alright, there's the hit, good. So this one's going to be 2 minutes and 30 seconds. A little bit of bad RNG there with the brimstone placement. Anyways, we ran 3 runs with her pretty consistently, no real danger with her, and yeah, it looks really good. Obviously the stats are pretty insane, guys. I don't want to say that they're easy to achieve. Even for myself, I don't know if I really want to commit that level of gear for this champion, but the fact that she's a login champion and she can solo this level of content makes her pretty damn insane. So, and that is mainly because of her 5-star blessing. I mean, her skill kit works well for this fight as well, with the healing. The accuracy in all battles aura actually helps too. Basically takes a load off the gear requirement. You see I only run her at 325 with the accuracy in aura gives her 385. And yeah, just her overall kit just kind of works for this fight. Yeah, anyways, for the substitutes, I saw Bronco use Wither. So I have a Wither as well, but the problem with my Wither is that my Wither is a 1-star. So he has a 5-star Wither, and you can kind of see the base stats on Wither are kind of way better than Adelyn's. So Wither has an extra 5k HP on her and just 100 less defense. So the HP difference makes Wither a lot easier to build up in terms of HP, so it gives her a ton more survivability. The other champion I saw get used was actually Vassal of the Seal. This one's from Jacobo. Jacobo's posted a picture of this. Very cool usage of this champion. Basically, he has a 5 or 6-star Vassal of the Seal, and he just, yeah, you don't need any special abilities, but he does have a heal here, and it has an extra turn mechanic which helps him cycle through the enfeeble debuff, giving him less, uptime on the enfeeble debuff on himself. So that's pretty smart interaction from Jacobo. So big shout out to him, another content creator. But yeah, guys, so those are the substitutes that I've seen. Like I said, any force affinity 5-star or higher champion could probably do it. Like Wixwell could probably do it actually. I'm not sure how the intercept ability, actually sorry, intercept does not work on enfeeble, but if you have a 5 or 6-star on Wixwell, I'm sure you could probably make him work by having him protect himself with shields, here, and obviously just using his A1 just for the brimstones. But yeah, any kind of tanky 5-star force affinity champion that's super tanky in regen probably could do this. But Adelyn is special because she's a free login champion, and the blessing was also free as well. So anyways, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys are as excited about this as I am. I think it opens up a lot of possibilities for everybody to look for some strategies that work. Adelyn obviously is incredibly good here. Like I said, no books necessary, free login champion, free 5-star blessing. Hope you guys enjoy the showcase. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next video.